On a related note, especially in light of the pandemic, many across the globe have been hit with terrible life or death health dilemmas, either for themselves or for their loved ones. And often there's no real guidance for what to do. But thankfully, there is now a qualified hotline providing some ethical advice. And joining me now to tell us all about it is Director of Tzohar's Center for Jewish Ethics, Rabbi Yuval Cherlow. Rabbi, thank you so much for being with us. Now, this is advice based on Jewish halachic principles. What does that mean exactly?
The main idea in Jewish halachic ethical approach is the fact that you have to balance between all kind of measures. One is the importance of keeping your life and continuing your life. It's a responsibility. We were created in God's image, and we have to keep it. From the other hand, you have to conduct or predict normal life, and you have to make all kind of decisions, especially when you are in the end of the life, and there are a lot of dilemmas. If to use the ventilator, if to what treaty you should make with the doctors, with the all your relatives. This is the main idea, and we give the advice from the halachic point of view and from the ethical point of view.
But so that being said, is this hotline only for Jews then?
The truth is that yes, but actually, and in fact, we have got some calls from the Arab society because of two reasons. First of all, we are kind of a mediator for the families that can explain, that staff in the hospital is so busy, is so under pressure, can't function like in regular days where you can explain to the family everything. And we know the job, and we are quite good mediators between the family and the staff. The second reason why Arabs also call us is the fact that ethics is many times a global issue. It's an international issue. There are special points in Jewish ethics, but there are also something and the common with all the people in the world. So therefore, when they realize that we can give ethical advice, even though it's not halachic, they're not Jews, they call us, and it's very interesting. It breaks walls, because one of the main things that can unify all human beings is ethics.
So how did this hotline begin, and what is the success rate, if you could call it that, of the hotline's advice?
It started with the fact that we as rabbis get more and more questions, because actually the medicine succeeded. And it's a big victory of the medicine that we live much longer. The problem is that when we live much longer, there is a gap between the body and the brain. Sometimes the brain functions, but the body is a kind of a traitor, we call it. Sometimes the opposite. The body is completely okay, but the brain is in dimension. And as rabbis, and I work in many ethical committees in hospitals, we started to get all kinds of questions. Are we, must we continue fight for our relatives' life, or this is the time to say enough is enough? So after I personally gave so many advices, we decided to make a hotline to train rabbis and social workers to give the right answers. And we began a few weeks ago, and the numbers are increasing, not only connected to the COVID-19 virus. Wow. It's connected to all of us will get to this point.
All right, well, Rabbi, I want to thank you for doing this tough work, and I want to implore anyone who's looking for any sort of advice, ethically speaking, call the hotline. Rabbi, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you very much, and hopefully all of us, rak briut, as we say, be well.